Hello and welcome to another EnsoVN gaming video, and this time we'll be doing the new Neo Killer COLOSSEUM that's currently on global for the next week or so. He's a pretty decent character. He boosts the attack of strikers and slashers by 2.75 times if they have a matching orb, or times 2 otherwise. Also makes your RCB 0, which kind of sucks, but it's not too bad. This special makes it so that you can change all strength, quick and dex orbs into matching orbs for strikers and slashers, as well as cutting their HP by 8%. So it's a pretty nice special, especially because the CD is only 8 at max. So pretty solid character overall. There's going to be 3 variations. We're going to start off with the shooter version, and the team I'm using is a little rare recruit heavy, shall we say, but you can honestly just use probably a Raizo as a captain instead of your own legend boa, or a legend ace if you have him instead of boa, but you can't use his special pretty much because on stage 4 Kid will give you a 9/9 turn attack buff that's really weak, which is why Raizo is nice, because Kid can be delayed and so can Killer, so you can use that as an attack buff from Raizo's conditional boost. As you can see here, Killer has about 2 million HP, attacks every turn for 5,000 damage, gains a 2-hit perfect barrier for 9/9 turns, can't be delayed for 4 turns, resilience buff for 4 turns so you can't be killed by normal attacks, as well as boosting your attack by a tiny amount for 9/9 turns. So I'm just going to mostly wait out the resilience pretty much before we can kill him. On turn 1 he will half your HP instead of attacking, so you have to be worried about that, but Boa does heal you by quite a lot. If you have 2 and level 5 auto heal, that's 3k heal every turn, so from his basic attacks you're taking about 1000 a turn after that, so it's not really big a deal. On turn 4 he will boost his attack to only 6000, but once it's turn 4 you're going to burst him anyway. You can obviously still attack him over the 4 turns if you don't have a strong enough team, so just make sure you don't get him below 30% though, because he then does the attack for 10,000 damage. So here I'm just going to activate most of my specials. Like, Killer doesn't have freaking poison protection, so you can pretty much just kill him with a Magellan. You can either use a Legend Magellan or a Raid Magellan. All you have to do is pretty much be able to tank enough hits for the poison to kill him. Instead of using Holy Jones, you can use someone like Perona, or a different like damage reducer, not jeez, or like a heal or a delay, pretty much anything really. You can use like GPU here and Magellan, and you can just kill him like that. But since I do so much damage anyways, since I have 2 boas, I can delay him, get 4 matching orbs, and just help the poison on him a little bit. You can of course also use the Ace Striker ship instead of the Kizaru Cannonball if you don't have this. This one's pretty easy if you have Magellan, and even if you don't, it's not too bad. Most of the time with these free versions that I'm going to show you, like fighting Kid is harder than fighting Killer. Killer really doesn't do that many things after the preemptive, though he does have a decent amount of HP. 3 million is quite a lot. Here, Holy Jones was super unnecessary, as you can see. Like, I'm just going to kill him from the poison anyway, so you don't really need Holy Jones or anything on that. Next one, we're going to do the Slasher version, which is actually going to be a driven version. Going to use the treasure map Cavendish that we just maxed out like a couple days ago. It literally ended this morning, so it'd be nice to immediately get to use him. If you don't know what he does, his captain ability boosts driven by 2.75 times, I believe, or might be 2.5 times. But after you hit 3 units of the same type with more than good, then he boosts driven by 3.75 times, which is really nice. So that's why we have 3 Psy units, and Zoro is really good for this, as you'll see later on. Another thing is that on stage 4 Kid will make it so that he gives you another weak attack boost, but also another weak orb boost. But thankfully Cavendish will actually remove both the orb and the attack boost before applying his own one, so that's really nice. Also, I'm going to stop trying to say Cavendish and say Cavendish instead. The Shiki is really not that useful. He's just there because he's a slasher and a driven character. Shuyu is actually pretty nice for the damage reduction for 3 turns. And Doflamingo is nice to move around some orbs because this team doesn't have great orb manipulation. Plus, he gives a ×2 orb boost instead of the 1.751 that Cavendish provides. Zoro is for the revive after Killer dies, because you'll see. I'll show you why this Kimono Zoro is so good, and kind of sucks that if you didn't do the Blitz Battle, you have no way of getting him, because he deals with so many things on the final stage that it's going to be a bit difficult for most people, I think, if you don't have this Zoro. I'll go on to stage 4, pretty much the same thing as the shooter version, except he has a 1-hit good barrier for 1 turn, which is a bit nice. So pretty much I'm going to just delay not delay, but like wait out the resilience again anyway. So the barrier doesn't matter too much either way. He also makes it so everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what I was gonna say after that. Yeah, halves your HP like normal. And now we just do the waiting game. Install out those 3 turns before the resilience runs out. You can also, if you bring someone that actually does damage, like COLOSSEUM Moria, who does fixed damage, you can use him after you just burst him. And if you want to tank the 10,000 hits. Because if you think about it, you can either take 4,000 for 4 turns, or like 1 hit of 4,000 and then 1 hit of 10,000. So either, it just it's maths anyway. Like either way you want to do it, it really doesn't matter that much really. So here's turn 4, he's going to boost his attack. Now we can use 1 Cavendish, god damn it, changes all his orbs into matching orbs, that's why I left the badly matching orbs. You have the attack boost and the orb boost for 1.75 times, which is going to be more than enough just to take this guy down. Don't even need Doflamingo, which is pretty nice. Then we're going to go face against Killer. Pretty much the same as the last version. Halves your HP, randomizes your orbs, but also this time gains a rainbow shield for 3 turns. What was it? Yeah, it's 3 turns. So again, we're just going to do the stalling game, weigh out the shield. This is where Shiryu comes in really handy, because you actually get to take half damage for 3 turns. And Cavendish, god dang, will also be very, very good because he does heal you for a lot of HP at the end of every turn. I think it's nearly 3,000, so pretty much you're taking no damage. It's also really nice that Shiryu is another driven slasher. So you hear like, yeah, you're literally healing 300 HP every turn thanks to Shiryu and Cavendish's specials. And then once the rainbow shield is down, we're going to activate our second Cavendish. Over those 4 turns you obviously should have been stalling for your matching orbs. Not stalling, sorry, like looking for them. Obviously the Flamingo will help a lot, and the Shiki will change some of the orbs into matching orbs, which is also really nice. So here I'm going to activate my Cavendish for the second time. Obviously you saw that I used Doflamingo first, because then you get a bigger attack boost, not attack boost. Oh no, it doesn't matter. I forgot the Cavendish clears all your effects before he puts his own one up, so yeah, it doesn't matter. And obviously last hit with Doflamingo. So make sure you attack with your Psy units first, obviously, so that the next 3 will get a bigger attack buff, and then last hit with Doflamingo since he's Dex. Once he revives, he does a bunch of crap, nearly 1,000,000 HP, paralyzes your team for 2 turns, despairs your captains for 3 turns, limits your specials to 1 every turn, which is horrible. But thankfully Zoro gives you 3 matching orbs, removes the paralysis, and boosts the attack by 1.5 for driven and slashes, which is freaking incredible. So if you don't have him, it's going to be a bit of a struggle to kill him after the revive. But thankfully the COLOSSEUM came in really clutch for me. And next we have the fighter variation, which is another fully free-to-play team with a legend friend captain. This one's pretty straightforward. Lucy obviously is king. And I'm going to be using a Garp as my captain, especially because on stage 4, Kid will make your orbs quick orbs every single turn, which is the only freaking coloured orb that Gear 4 does not make matching. Super annoying. But thankfully, it makes Lucy, Legend Lucy, makes quick orbs matching. So you pretty much have 4 matching orbs every turn when you're fighting Killer. So for the team itself, I'm going to be using normal Raid Kizaru instead of Neo Kizaru, because he's the only quick unit, and of course you need 1 quick unit at least on a Lucy team. Garp is super handy for the revive after Killer is killed the first time. Sabo really isn't necessary, he's just there because he's a strong Dex fighter. Lucy, COLOSSEUM version is obviously really nice because he gives you 4 matching orbs and an orb boost. And Hideo is another orb booster. So you have 2 orb boosters, and Lucy will provide 2 turns of attack boost, which is really nice. And then of course Kizaru for the chain lock, because this version of Killer actually has like 5 million HP. Which is 2 million more than his other 2 variations, which is actually kind of crazy. So actually Sabo is nice to have because obviously he has a lot of HP, but you can use something else like a HP card or something if you want. Once again, we're going to weigh out the 4 turns of resilience. This time he has a 2-hit perfect barrier like the shooter version rather than the good hit barrier. When you fight them the first time, you have to keep watching this long ass kid animation, which makes it a lot longer, so in future runs you will have a little bit of time save there. But once we get to the zombie version of the zero stamina, you'll see how many times I have to watch that stupid animation. As you see, I'm getting quick orbs every single turn. I can attack if I want to, but it really doesn't matter too much. I'm going to do a crap ton of damage after the resilience is gone anyway. It's actually kind of better to not do this, because you want to make sure that you get to hit 4 perfects on Kid before he dies, to ensure that you get the ×2 attack boost against Killer on the next stage. This is why I don't like attack him anymore, because I quickly realized that. Yeah, another turn of quick orbs, which is just great. I don't actually use a Deo, I don't think. Oh no, I think I do. But yeah, if that's another way, if you don't want to make sure you get to hit 4 perfects, is don't use the orb boost. I might actually not. Let's see. I don't. Alright, so yeah, it turns out you don't really need a Deo. You could just fit someone else on the team. Just make sure that you get to hit 4 perfects. And then we're on to Killer himself. He has a crap ton of HP, halves your HP, and randomizes your orbs like normal. Also lowers your chain for 2 turns, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal really. There isn't like many great, I don't think there is like a free-to-play fighter chain locker. So I'm gonna have to do with this Kizaru. He only adds 0.5 to the chain. So here should not have lost. Actually, no, he's quick. I don't know why I think he's because I'm so used to using Neo Kizaru. Obviously, last hit with your dex units last, and blam, they're about 5 million damage. He revives with 300,000 HP ish. Reduces the chance of getting strength orbs for some reason. Oh, sorry, changes all your orbs into strength orbs. Gains 1 hit perfect barrier. All this garbage doesn't matter. Just use Garp, and he is dead. Now we're on to the 0 stamina version, which is going to take a long ass time. For me, it took about 48 minutes. But, that's mostly because of all the kid animations I have to watch. On stage 1, all the CDs of fighters will be reduced by 20 turns, which is why Elisabello is already on CD. This team is really weird, as you can see. I'm having to use a freaking is that Niji? No, I think it's Yonji actually. Is there a 4 in his chest? The freaking young Whitebeard's in the way. I think it is Yonji. He has a weaker version of Raid Sabo's effect, where he adds 40 times his attack to the end of your attacks. Obviously I can't use Sabo because I'm using the Kuja ship, so if I use Sabo I would have way too much HP to do the zombie team. Here you want to use Elisabello on stage 2, on turn 2, sorry, because on turn 1 they actually won't do enough to kill the, what are they called, dugongs. So wait out one turn, but you have to make sure that obviously you don't die on turn 1, so having someone like Yonji to actually do enough damage to kill the dugongs is very important. Look at the rest of the team. It's very important to have Mihawk and Young Whitebeard with this variation to deal with stage 3, because you have to do 2 million damage against 2 enemies, which is really, really hard for most teams, which is why I couldn't fit Magellan onto this team. Like the poison ramps too slowly. On stage 1, you have to make sure that your Elisabello will do enough damage to kill all the mobs around. Is he Mr. Zero? No, he's Mr. something. It doesn't matter. By the way, use the Elisabello special or whatever AoE special you're using to kill all the mobs around him, and then just stall out all your specials once again. Stage 3 is probably the hardest stage. Stage 1 or 2 is not too bad. Stage 1 you have to have like a fire special that will help you kill out all the mobs, but once you are left with that one fighter dude, you can just stall out your specials for this guy, so this stage is pretty easy as long as you have a decent AoE special. He will change your orbs into bomb orbs every turn, so pretty much if you don't hit a perfect you'll just die, because you'll take some damage from the bomb and then he'll hit you and you'll die. So I was playing pretty cautiously against this dude. I was too scared to hit with normal attacks because I don't want to waste so much time doing this and then like fail because I'm an idiot. So pretty much I just killed him with like missed attacks, so the bombs didn't go off while I stole for my Elisabello special. You have to have all your specials ready on turn 1 for the next stage, because you have to one-shot them pretty much, because they have a 110 CD and there's 2 of them and they each have 2 million HP, so not much chance of a do-over. But they do have no delay protection, so if you have a delay you can store a bit more. So this is why I have to use 2 HP cutters, because Elisabello won't do the job. They have, as I said, 1.9 million HP each. So make sure you use Young Whitebeard special first, then Mihawk special, then Elisabello special for the maximum damage. And they should have, depending on how much damage your Elisabello has, like if he's max HP, max level and max cotton candy. Mine is not, mine has about 50 attack cotton candy. And then just use the Yonji for a bit more damage, just to make sure you kill these guys. Very pivotal you kill both on one turn, because if you leave one alive, she will revive the other one. So you have to always kill them on the same turn. This guy is the only reason you bring this Nami, because on his first hit, he will attack twice, as in he will hit you with a special attack and then use a normal attack. So if you don't have Nami, who reduces all damage taken from int units to nothing, you'll just die. Like you can have, like you can't reduce the damage enough to not die. Like even like 99% wouldn't be enough, I think, because 148 HP is so low. And then now you just play the stalling game. The only special you need for the next stage is an AoE special, so just Elisabello. Just make sure you can use a calculator if you want. So once Elisabello gets to max CD, every turn it adds 23 times his attack to his special every turn. But I'm too lazy to do that, so just wait a while and then hope. You can restart the game if it doesn't do enough damage. Yeah, Elisabello just one-shots this stage, and this guy will paralyze all strikers and slashes for 29 turns, which is a weird number. But once you got to this stage, you have won. There's no way to lose. Like, it will take a long ass time to kill these guys, but you can't lose. Except if you take the bomb orbs and like kill yourself against Kid. But as you can see, even in this like times 1000 speed, how many times I have to watch this stupid killer animation as he hits you. So this took a long time. Hopefully on the next 2 runs, I don't have to watch this animation over and over again. It'd be so nice if I had Magellan, because this would be a lot faster, but unfortunately with this team I can't fit them on. Obviously if you don't have Elisabello, another good substitute is unevolved Enel, Legend Enel, because he will do a crap ton of AoE damage. It's like 2 million damage. And when in that case you can use Sabo, and it makes things a lot easier. But I do have Enel, but I evolved him, so he's kind of useless for this. As you can see there, I restarted the game because I was like, is this enough Elisabello damage? And it's like, no, not even close. And then eventually I do use Elisabello a bit prematurely, but then I just continue attacking because screw it. This takes long enough. I mean, I need to use the Elisabello on Killer anyway, which I don't actually end up doing, so I should have just waited a bit more to use Elisabello on this guy. Oh my god, this is so long. Look how many animations there are. And he is dead finally after like a billion turns. Well, 44 because you can count off the delayed protection. Now against Killer, halves your HP, randomize your orbs. You've seen this song and dance a bunch of times. Also lowers your chain by a crap ton. Use Young Whitebeard special, use Mihawk special, use Yonji special, and just slowly beat him down. He actually has a lot less HP than the Killer does. Killer has, I think, about 4 million HP, and this guy has about 2.8 million. So once again, the Killer is actually a lot easier to... the Killer is a lot easier to kill than Kid, which kind of makes sense since Kid's the captain. So we just beat him down slowly, very, very slowly. I should have used the Isabello here because you'll see that after he dies, he revives with pretty much 90% of his HP and gains a free hit perfect barrier. So you can't even use your HP cuts anymore, and Isabello is useless. So the only thing that's going to speed this up is using Yonji special. But you do a decent amount of damage because Yonji does boost the attack of Dex units, but only by 2.25 times. But a third, I think, like 1.3 times for powerhouse units. So he is the highest attacker on his own team. Plus, I gave him 100 attack con candy just to make it a bit easier. So it's actually kind of paying off here because this is a lot of turns beating him down. You can count on the barrier how many turns this is taking. Like this is turn... it took 29 turns? No, 28 turns after the revive to kill this guy. And Douche, finally dead. Holy crap. 0 stamina is such an ordeal, but the fact that you only have to do it 3 times is nice. Plus you get a nice bonus of 10 gems after you do it 3 times, so I'd say it's worth it, especially because it's 0 stamina, so you don't really have to waste anything for it, other than your time of course. Well, that's it for this video. Post any other teams you have in the comments down below. Join the Discord if you like. If you're feeling generous, you can donate to the PayPal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, my Nakama!